After Mark's help with her overgrown lawn, Sarah felt she owed him a proper thank you. Instead of a simple coffee, she decided to prepare an ambitious three-course Italian chicken dinner. We find her in the kitchen, surrounded by a mountain of fresh produce. She's meticulously following an old family recipe book for roasted chicken with rosemary and root vegetables. She looks determined, but perhaps a bit overwhelmed by the sheer volume of prep work ahead of her. Do you think she's bitten off more than she can chew? The preparation begins with the basics. Sarah starts dicing a large white onion. As she works with her chef's knife, the sulfuric compounds from the onion begin to irritate her eyes. Before long, she's not just cooking, she's weeping. I should have chilled these in the fridge first, she mutters through her tears. It's a classic kitchen struggle that every cook knows all too well. Despite the stinging sensation, she pushes through, determined to stick to the recipe. While the oven is preheating, Sarah turns her attention to a pot of homemade stock on the stove. She gets distracted while searching for the rosemary, and that's when disaster strikes. The stock reaches a rolling boil, and within seconds, it's bubbling over the sides of the pot. The liquid hisses as it hits the hot burner, creating a sticky, starchy mess. Sarah rushes back to turn down the heat, waving away the steam. I need to stay focused, she tells herself, but the kitchen is starting to feel a bit chaotic. With the stovetop mess cleaned up, Sarah seasons the chicken and slides the heavy roasting pan into the oven. She sets her timer for exactly 1 hour. For the first time all afternoon, she feels a sense of accomplishment. She envisions a perfectly roasted, golden brown chicken with crispy skin. She decides to take a quick break in the living room while the oven does the hard work. She deserves a moment of peace after such a stressful start, doesn't she? Sarah is nearly drifting off to sleep when a piercing sound jolts her awake. Beep, beep, beep. The smoke detector in the hallway is screaming. Panic sets in instantly. She runs back to the kitchen, only to find it filled with a thick, acrid haze. Thick plumes of gray smoke are billowing out from the edges of the oven door. The timer still shows 1 minute remaining. However, something has gone horribly wrong. She covers her mouth with her apron, heart racing, as she realizes the oven has become a furnace. Bracing herself, Sarah puts on oven mitts and gingerly opens the door. A cloud of black smoke hits her in the face, making her cough violently. When the air clears, the sight is devastating. The chicken, which was supposed to be the star of the show, is now a charred, unrecognizable lump of carbon. It's not just well done, it's incinerated. Sarah stares at the ruined bird, feeling the weight of her failure. All that effort, the tears and the cleaning, all for nothing. Just as she's standing there in despair, the doorbell rings. It's Mark, right on time. He arrives looking sharp, clutching a bottle of fine Cabernet and wearing a friendly smile. But as soon as the door opens, the smile fades into a look of concern. The smell of burnt poultry is unmistakable, and the smoke alarm is still chirping rhythmically in the background. Sarah, he asks, peering into the hazy apartment. Is everything all right? Do I need to call the fire department? Sarah and Mark look at the charcoal chicken. Sarah's ready to apologize profusely and cancel the evening, but Mark's reaction surprised her. He doesn't look disappointed. He looks like he's trying to suppress a laugh. Finally, he lets out a chuckle. Well, he says, I've always heard that a little bit of carbon is good for digestion. His lightheartedness breaks the tension. Sarah realizes that her perfectionism was unnecessary. After all, she invited him for the company, not just the poultry. Mark pulls out his phone and suggests the best local pizzeria. Half an hour later, they are sitting cross-legged on the floor, surrounded by paper napkins and a steaming pepperoni pizza. The wine is poured and the windows are open to let out the last of the smoke, and the conversation flows easily. In the end, the culinary catastrophe turned out to be the perfect icebreaker. Sometimes a failed dinner leads to a much more successful evening. I hope you enjoyed learning English as we continue to follow the story of Sarah and Mark. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.